Today I'm going to work on glass, the surface of glass, and also the cobwebs that are on this particular photo, which should be a challenge. It's something that I haven't never done before, and so we're thinking about using an X-Acto knife or a knife to scratch in that form. I have also some masking fluid right here. Oh, I bought some masking fluid too. Incredible White Mask. They actually had this at the Ace Hardware here in Sheridan. This is a really good masking fluid if you want to paint masking fluid on. The Incredible White Mask. I've got my salt in a little film canister. I have some white ink. That might also be a possibility. And let's see what else. And then, of course, I have some white gouache. And I have a candle. I might try to do a little bit with a candle here. See, I'm looking at the photos. See if I can get the photo a little closer. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is sketch out the composition. And I'm looking at some of the main shapes here. When you're doing a bottle, think about an axis for the bottle, which goes right down the middle. That way you can judge whether you're getting the shape symmetrical on both sides. Sometimes if you really want to make it more perfect, you can get tracing paper and draw one side and then fold it to get the other side. Well, needs to be wider. Let's see, I'm looking to see. I'm going to make a little bottom to this. The shape of this bottle is rounder on the top. Looks pretty flat on the bottom, but I'm making it a little more round. And then these ellipses up here go the opposite way because your eye level is a little lower. It's going to be a little wonky, but hey, it's a sketch, right? Trying to see what that is on the side. Looks like a little bit of a raggedy or irregular edge of some kind. And this bottle's kind of tilted. It's seen better days.
Timer, 25 minutes.
45 minutes. I wonder why it said that. Maybe it's to remind me I have 45 minutes.
Sorry, Sylvia, that was me. It was a mistake.
Oh, okay,
I've got bread in the oven.
okay. Oh, it sounds good. Bet it smells good. Let's see, I'm gonna see if I can erase. I can find my eraser, I want to erase some of those lines. I don't know what happens to things sometimes. Oh, there it is. I like to blame my kitties, of course. This is very strange because it looks like, oh, I see. There's a little gap in between these bottles. I think this one's a little tilted also. Make this a little wider. Take a better look at this photo. I don't know if you guys have the photo, but it's very strange because the top part of this bottle goes behind the bottle next to it, but the bottom part doesn't. Unless just a reflection. Very strange. So I'm just gonna have to leave that part out. And then there's a window.
It looks like the space between those two bottles on the right is a reflection and not a gap.
Good. See, when I'm doing this, I don't have the picture really close to me, so I can't really see it that well.
I had to zoom in on it.
Okay. Thanks for looking. Okay. Can't really see some of these things very well either, so. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just paint a little bit of the background because I want to get that. Oh, I gotta check my drawing. So before you start painting, check your drawing. And see if you have it fairly symmetrical. The bottles. Now look at. See, I've got the top of this way off. Partly because I changed the angle slightly. So look at the hard and soft edges too. Okay. So I'm looking to see, is there any place I could use the candle before I put the paint on? So here's the candle, which has seen better days. It's kind of been in the sun, I think. So here's a kind of a rough place up in here that's kind of white. I think I'll use it here. Maybe I'll use it a little bit on the window too, back in here. Because the window has some texture. Just so we'll see what happens when I do. And now I'm going to do a wash of a manganese blue. And kind of paint around the shape of the bottle. You don't want it to be tilted quite that much right now. And put a little bit of a violet in here. Up in here. Right, I have a little too much help from my kitty right now. No, 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 no. I'm adding some sap green and now I'm adding a little viridian. See, I want to put in a little bit of Quinn Gold up in here in the background. I've got to get dark enough with some of this color in here so that when I scratch, I'll get the effect I want. And so that you can sort of see where I put the candle wax. It is starting to, it's leaving a little bit of speckles. So I went over the edge here, which is not good. Get some yellow down in here.
Sylvia, is there a way of showing the photo?
I
There's,
had it on my, oh, yeah, I have to, I don't know why my video is suddenly showing here. Can you
yeah,
see it now?
yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I need to get a little darker up in here. Sprinkle a little bit of, tiny little bit of salt in some of this too. Slightly. And then I want it a little softer up in here, so I'm gonna spray part of that. Put it some more flat. Okay, now I'm going to paint this dark wall. This is a combination of violet, ultramarine blue, and burnt sienna. Oops. Okay, now I'm mixing up just more burnt sienna. It's like I'm getting low on it on my palette. And some ultramarine blue. I'm gonna drop some Quinn Gold in there.
Look how the Queen Gold is pushing aside other colors.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
I wonder if that would work for sunsets to help prevent green.
Maybe. This is really rough. What I'm doing is certainly not precise. Okay, this is Prussian blue. I have time to do the bottles. Yeah, I have a really wobbly line there, but it's okay. It's just gonna have to do. Sprinkle a little salt. I don't think it did much on the window that I was putting in. Oh, I see. I drew that wrong. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to work on this bottle. This is raw umber, I think. Mixing it with a little bit of purple. Okay, so now I see sort of a purplish tone in here. Here it goes toward a little bit of a green. Okay, now I'm putting a little quinacridone gold here and letting it drip down. Made sort of a channel for it. And here's sort of a like a brownish gold tone. Over here it's blue. Some kind of a mark in that bottle. I can't tell what it is.
Looks like the paper label got chipped off
Oh, yeah,
or torn off.
okay. This is a burnt, I'm not sure if it's burnt scarlet or it's one of my quinacridones. Now I'm gonna mix a little bit of violet in it. Oops, I'm going too far. That's the label. Gonna put some cat orange in here. Let's see, I've got to put some of this color that was above the label down in here. Okay, more of this, I need to have more of this running kind of a look here. It kind of disappeared. Got to get to the scratching part. Get a little deeper with some of this on this side. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to skip to some of these other things. But in order to make this stand out, I have to probably go with the darker bottle on the other side. I'm gonna put in some gouache here. Okay. Is that like the edge of the label here? And then there's a little bit of bottle? I think there is. Showing. Here,
Looks like it to me.
yeah. Just occurred to me. So I didn't handle that really well. See if this is dry. I think it's fairly dry, so let me get my X-Acto knife. And I'm going to see if I can scratch with just this end that's not quite so sharp. See what happens here if I. I guess I can't because it's bending. Fairly effective.
Yes, I think it's working.
Could probably also come back in and touch it up with a little bit of gouache in places.
I tried scratching in my sketchbook some very dry paint, and it was difficult to get it to move. So I think the fact that this is maybe just a tiny bit damp is probably beneficial.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
I don't know, but I couldn't get good scratches.
Uh-huh. I think it would tear bigger pieces of the paper. I want to put in some of this dark bottle next to it, and I'm mixing up Alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue. Oops, I didn't mean to go quite that far. Now I'm gonna take quinacridone gold. And now I'm gonna mix up a darker dark with purple and burnt sienna and Prussian blue. This is Prussian blue. This is manganese blue. Quinacridone gold. Sprinkle some salt in here. Let's see, I need a stiffer brush. I wanted to lift a little bit, but it wasn't doing it.
Looking at the photo and the glass bottle on the right, on the left, that's tipping is sitting on a nail or a screw, it looks like underneath it.
Okay,
That's what that's what I see anyway.
okay.
That's why it's tipped.
I gotta remember to put the nail in.
Right? Or something.
Here I went over the edge.
One of the things that stands out to me in the photo are the musty, dusty tops of those curves. I'm curious to know how you're going to handle that of the first and second bottle, the middle bottle and the one on the left.
Oh, right up in here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very striking. And how are you going to do that?
I would probably do it. I could do it with some stippling,
Oh,
stippling effect, like with gouache or even my ink.
mm-hmm.
A little bit of watered down gouache.
Yeah, it does almost look like wet on wet a bit.
Yeah. But I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna have to resolve that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I might keep painting on it because I like what I've got so far.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It definitely, we can't really see it with this big white shape,
Mm-hmm.
but for a quick little sketch, it's coming along.
That's looking real good. Very
You
pretty.
you really have the luminosity of the bottle on the right.
Yeah.
That's just terrific.
See it.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to stop the video and the recording.